Hey everybody, this is Mike at ASR Outdoors and Hawk and Wolf Knives. Oh, smoke, there we go. We got some flames eating that smoke up now. Just sitting out here in the backyard shooting some videos, trying to make them small and simple and short. This video here is going to be about basically getting some type of fire system set up with the bare minimum. You know, a lot of times we think that, you know, we're in the forestry, we have plenty. Well, not everyone has forestry service. Not everyone lives around a tremendous amount of woods. A lot of folks in Arizona, they may be camping out somewhere where it's just going to be bushes. I've never been to Arizona. I don't know what the terrain is always like there, but I know there's times that you just don't have everything to make a nice big fire lathe hearth and everything that you would like to make. Sometimes you don't even have enough trees that have fallen down without having to cut a green live tree, and if there's only a couple of them out there, I don't try to do that. If there's 3 or 4 of the same type in one, I may, if I'm on private property, but if I'm out in the public side of it, I just stick away from it. I look for ones that have been falling or down, because they'll hold it up for no longer than what I'm going to be. So what I'm going to do is show you some limbs that I had trimmed off of a maple tree just not too long ago. I'm going to show you how to make a quick, simple, easy setup that you don't need a lot of stuff, but you can move it around and you can actually be able to move your fire as opposed to cooking and moving it from on around from the coals and stuff, as opposed to just having one big flat. So stick around, hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll catch you in a minute. All right, this is what we have to work with. Now, if I was out somewhere and that's all that I had to work with, I can either give it up or I can just do like I do most of the time. But for some of you guys that like to cook and be able to use it and move it around, I'm going to show you something. These here I've had for about 9 years. These are great little tools to have. Now, we're going to show you what you can do with it, and then if you don't have a set of these, how you can work around. Now remember, when these fall off, that's the next fire. It's a lot safer to have some of these if you can afford to get them, or if you can find them. But what I want to show you is it's right here. When you're making, this is the one that I'm going to be driving in. Get that to where it's right here. You want that straight streak that's going straight up. You don't want to be driving on this side over here. Sometimes the limbs are not as good as this. So I figure let's just give us enough room. A Y stick. So this needs to be the one that we're going to have for the longest point. So we're going to cut it about right here. Now the distance that you need is going to be solely up to you. So there's stick number 1. It's called a Y branch. Why? I'd have no idea, but that's what it's called. Now, this particular one here is important that we don't mess this up. So this one is still coming into here like so. So we're going to trim this down and get all these little potential next fire starters off of it. So this is what we're going to need, and this is a thicker branch, but this here is where it comes straight through. This is the original branch. This is just one of them that hogged all the food, so we don't need that one to be very big. I'm going to cut it right here, and then we're going to come down to right here. There's the second part of this. Now, I'm showing you this here as in the worst case scenario that you can have, not as in what actually you should get. Get you a stick that is less bendable, but if this is all you have, important, if you have something that you're cutting off this way, do not cut it right here. Nip it just above. The reason for that is this way you end up having less stress on this. If you cut that off there, you've weakened this because you've cut it into the fibers. So don't look like much, but that's what we got. All right, guys, now I want you to be mindful when you're out and about doing stuff. Think about things that you may need that you can use later. And if it's at your permanent camp, we have just made us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 toggles of 6 different sizes. So keep that in mind as well when you're out and about processing up your stuff. Don't just throw stuff in the fire just to get rid of it, because you might need it. And I guarantee you somewhere along the line you've had to use a dead rotten limb somewhere because you couldn't reach the ones that were good, or you didn't have any resources around. So keep that in mind too. Toggles are important. We'll talk about those later. So what I'm going to do is, because this stick is not going to cooperate the way that I want it to, so we're going to take it off right here, right in that spot right there. So what I'm going to do, you gotta ask me why I did that and you'll know. I just needed to see where I needed it to go. This will be something else that I'll show you later. I'm just doing it for this video right now. This will protect it. It's going to heat up, so it's just going to pull that moisture out. The back down here is going to rot on us eventually. So just to save it from getting it, just going to shimmy this down just a little bit. So this is what's going to be up against the other one in a minute. All right. Same process, if this is going to be in the ground. About yay deep, maybe. We're just going to get rid of the bark. And this is a keeper, guys. We don't chip rid of it. Just score it first that way. It's got a good 90-degree spine on these knives. Remember, you're always thinking about the next fire in this series, because that's the key to this. It helps keep you warm, it can process your food, it can boil your water. So when you're out and about, always think about that next fire in every place. Alright. This one's video is trying to get it a little shortened, but it's going to be a little longer than I wanted it to be. So there you go, guys. There's that. Now let's get this put together. Now I've got an axe. It would make this a lot easier. But there's a reason I'm doing it with this. There's another video coming up, and you'll see how to make the right one of these. So now we want this to be right there, so that it's laying in that fork and semi-evened. So what I'm going to do is right here, mark it, Just marked it with my thumb. Make sure I got that the right way, because yeah. So we're going to put just a couple of little notches. Inside of it. Just like that. Nothing spectacular. You don't need to know 1,000 knots. You just need to know how to make something balance. So that's balance. Now if I put anything on that, she comes up. Well, not today she does it, Sally. Simple, easy, and effective. All right, guys, so there you have it. Over time, this camp here will start getting more coal that I can just rake out into here. I always build one fire up, and I'll build one fire, and then I cook separately, and I pull the coals out and stuff. It just makes it so much easier. Instead of burning and scorching and all this other stuff, you have a cooking, and then you have a fire. You have heat for warmth, then you have heat for cooking. And that's how we do that. You can actually, if you wanted to lower this, you could drive this stake here down, the little Y, down further, or you could leave it and just tie you a toggle down to a bell here, and then tie the rope off up here. You can lower it up and down as you choose to. All right. Now I'm not going to show you everything that's in this. This is just a little cloth. Remember what I said? Throw it in. I see a lot of people use a Ziploc bag. I don't recommend a Ziploc bag because the moisture that's in it can't get out unless you leave a hole in it somewhere, and then maybe it would. But this is so much easier. I just keep always this little string that I've got right here. I wrap it twice overhand, and then it just goes into my bag. Got a little knot right there that I just kind of use to help hold it in. Doesn't have to be fancy, but the next fire. Also remember, things that we just don't pay attention to. This came off of those 2 branches. Now in a week or so, this will be dry enough to get me going in the next fire. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. There we go. Hope you enjoyed this. It's a little bit longer than I wanted to keep them, but you got the idea of how it's done, and plus you got to see a few other little things that we had with it. So remember, always prepare for things down the road when you've got it. Here's several little toggles that I'll save, and you'll see them being used in some of the videos that are coming up. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you guys on another video. Thanks for support. Thanks for all these, and I'm going to try to upload them a little bit faster instead of once every Sunday and Wednesday. There may be a couple of days, but I'll try to get a schedule worked out to where it make it easier, so you can just come by and step in for 5 or 10 minutes and say hi and thank you and support us. So guys, catch you on another video.
Hey, thanks for watching.
If you like our content,
feel free to subscribe here.
Don't forget to hit that bell.
So you'll get a notification
as soon as a new video is uploaded.
And we hope to
Catch you guys on another video.